what's important to Lynch and what he's in the 49ers. And what he's saying is the most important thing this year is to trade is to get something for Jimmy Garoppolo. So, and that something's going to be a pick next year. So the most important thing this year is draft capital for next year, as opposed to cap space for this year. I don't know, man. It seems like they're sort of not really all in. I mean, I know we've been saying they're not all in, but it just drives home the point that they're playing for next year. They're planning for next year. I don't get that. Do you not read it that way?
I guess I would say I understand what you're saying for sure.
This is your number one goal, a third-round pick next year. That's the most important thing. That's all you're thinking about. What?
I don't know if I 100% read it that way, because I think we have to wait till the offseason fully plays out before we can say that. Because if he gets cut, at a point where it's kind of like they keep the $25 million, so they just waited for it to play out. At that point, this is probably their best move, right? Yeah. Just wait for him to get healthy and then cut him. Keep $25 million, roll it over to next year, and just do the best you can with that, right?
Okay, fair enough.
Probably the best move. If they don't cut him, then
if they hold on to him just for the comp pick, dude, yeah. If they sacrifice another year of Trey Lance's playing time and development just so they can get a third-round comp pick, like they need to re-examine their priorities.
No, that would be to me, that would be organizational malpractice.
Thank you. Okay.
It's
fair, because I was already going there and projecting that on them, and what you're saying is like, slow down. Let's give him a chance to not do that. Let's give him a chance to not do that. Yeah. And
if they do get there, right, then all of this becomes a conversation, and they deserve to be ripped for it because they mishandled. I mean, they've mishandled. Some would argue they've mishandled their quarterback situation from day one. I give them the benefit of the doubt with a few of the decisions, but there's no benefit of the doubt when you go all in with Trey Lance and he doesn't play for 2 years. There's no benefit of the doubt for that.
Yeah, I don't see that. So, John, please show that you really care more. That prove to us that the most important thing in the 49ers organization right now isn't turning a third-round comp pick in 2023 into an early third-round pick. Like, is this all about improving a pick by 30 spots? Is that all we're doing here? Because you're not getting a second-round pick. Maybe you'll get an early third. That's it.
Well, you're likely if everything goes to the plan of of the other 31 teams in the NFL in terms of their quarterback situation, they're likely getting nothing.
Right.
Everybody has basically said that they already have a guy they want to be their starter, besides Carolina.
Right.
So, and Garoppolo, you look at him as a starter because he's way too good. You said it, not to be playing elsewhere.
That's what they say.
You clearly look at him as a starting player. So,
also, Jimmy still has a no-trade clause in the sense that any team that would trade for him would probably want him to sign an extension. They probably wouldn't want to trade for a pick for 1 year. I would think. I mean, I don't think you'd want to trade.
I look at it as the other way.
For 1 year.
I think.
Okay.
Grant, I think the exact reason why we are where we are with his contract and everything is because I think his perceived value to a lot of these teams is, well, we can trade a later round pick. He'll make us respectable. He's only on a 1-year deal. The money's not too bad. We know we can win X amount of games by doing these things with him. He's proven that in the NFL. Well, let's do that and pivot. To me, Pittsburgh's plan with Trubisky, that could have been Garoppolo if they could trade, a 5th or a 6th round pick for Garoppolo.
Problem is that Jimmy's making $27 million. That's an expensive, maybe backup.
I think for 1 year, for 1 year, I think it's not too bad for a starter.
Well, for a starter, yeah.
Yeah, for 1 year, it's not too bad.
As we've just been comparing it to like when Washington traded for Alex Smith, like they traded him,
gave him the extension, but they traded for him on January 30th.
Right.
The same time the Stafford deal went down, which means they went into that offseason, knew that he was available, and said, this is going to be our next short-term solution at quarterback.
But again, if you're trading a pick for 1 year of expensive Jimmy, that pick is going to be nothing. It's going to be like
that's my point.
Very low, exactly.
That's my point. That's why there's this disconnect. That's why I don't think he's been traded.
Yeah.
So you can't tell me that
the Niners want this second round pick. You're looking at a team. You're waiting for a team that looks at him as a star, which means they want an extension, and then Jimmy can be like, "No, I'm not signing an extension."
Well, that's the only reason you would give up a second round pick for him, right? Why else would you give it to him if you give it to them
1 year?
You're only going to have him for 1 year? Because the only thing that makes sense for that team, if you're only keeping him 1 year, is maximum the third, because then you can recoup the third round compensatory.
So even if Carolina was the team that actually came through and offered a early third, Jimmy could be like, nah, I don't want to do that. Sorry. No, thanks. I don't want to be here long term. And then it all falls apart.
So, I don't look at it that way because Carolina might not look at him as long term either. So it's like it's a 1 year marriage. But then are you going to offer a fourth? Because the Niners aren't the only team in the NFL that wants to win a trade.
No, they are, and they always win. Double B Studio says if Jimmy starts, I'm going to hack his earpiece and moan all game long. LOL, just kidding. Seriously, we shouldn't be talking about Jimmy. What are the Niners doing? All right, let's stop talking about Jimmy.